Information at 5 on a crash involving the light rail. First responders saved a man who was hit early this morning in South End. He was hit by a sweeper train, which checks the tacks and signals before service starts. It happened around 5 this morning at Old Pineville and Woodlawn Roads. That man was taken to the hospital. Thankfully, no one else was hurt. NBC Charlotte's Tanya Mendez talked with first responders about the rescue today. Tanya, what did they have to say?
This man wasn't walking along the sidewalk here on Old Pineville Road like most people do in order to get over to the train station. Instead, he was walking up here along the tracks, and not just at any point, but the highest part of that hill up there, and that made this rescue extremely challenging. Trouble on the tracks turns into a daring rescue.
Engine 12, pedestrian stop.
It's before 5 a.m., the first light rail car of the day sweeping the tracks before the passengers get on, when someone wound up in the path of the oncoming train.
Going to be a pedestrian who was sleeping on the tracks, struck by the sweeper train that cleans the tracks.
Firefighters got to the scene and quickly saw this would be no simple save. The man on a part of the tracks 2 stories high.
They realized that's on an elevated platform.
Battalion Chief Peter Scaris is the rescue coordinator for Charlotte Fire.
New challenge every day. It's one of the great things of our job.
He says his team had to bring in a special ladder, putting the man who was hit into a basket and gliding him slowly down to safety. The victim alert and talking to the firefighters. Scaris says he should be okay. Hopes his team doesn't have another rescue on the light rail anytime soon. But if they do, they're ready.
As you know, they always say you never know what you're going to come into every day, and that's a perfect example of it.
So CATS has the signs out telling you where you're not supposed to be, but they recognize that soon there's going to be a lot of people in our city who are riding the train for the first time for All-Star Weekend. They said they're going to have extra security along the tracks as well as ambassadors to make sure that everybody stays safe. Reporting at the Woodlawn train station, I'm Tanya Mendez, NBC Charlotte.